Take 9.
Action.
Country People is a story about a teacher who moves to an enigmatic small town in the backwoods.
He's a guy who's obsessed with the
Start again.
Time?
It's okay.
Time? Country People is a story about a teacher who moves to a small town in the backwoods.
He's a guy who's obsessed with the past, even as the future is bearing down on him.
It's a quiet mystery that builds to a stunning conclusion.
Author Richard Hall was a pioneer at the dawn of the Pride movement and the creation of an LGBT literature.
This project won a grant from the Arch and Bruce Brown Foundation and is sponsored by the San Diego Human Dignity Foundation.
Cut.
That was good.
Yeah!
Right.
And that's a print.
Author Richard Hall, former book editor of The Advocate magazine, was tireless in pursuing equality for gay literature. His sister Marnie Hall describes his early life.
He was born in 1926. His older sister, you see in the picture, she was social and extroverted and gravitated toward our father. Richard was gentle and cerebral and bonded with our intellectually ambitious mother. When she realized he was gifted, she coached him in history, math, and Spanish and got him piano lessons. Harvard, she was sure, would be his stepping stone to a career in the Foreign Service.
He served in the military during World War II and then worked in advertising in Manhattan.
During these years, he saw Dr. Craig, a psychoanalyst, every day. Their goal was to bury his gay inclinations, in other words, to ghost his desires.
After 7 years of spending all of his income on psychoanalysis, he fired his analyst and reinvented himself as a gay activist and a writer.
His happiest times had been spent with his lover, Dan Allen, in a tiny village, Deja, D-E-J-A, on the island of Majorca around 1960. Food and wine in Spain was, by American standards, incredibly cheap, pennies a day. And Richard and Dan set up house in a stone hut with a dirt floor. They explored the island, they sunbathed, they kept journals, they recited poetry, and they hobnobbed with the local literary celebrities.
Returning to the U.S., he was one of a small group of writers who, despite facing resistance from publishers, agents, and bookstores, initiated a new kind of gay literature, one of pride and not apology.
So despite the fact that his books and articles didn't pay the bills, he considered them his life's work. But he managed to earn a living as a writer in advertising and then in public relations. And occasionally, like the fictional Richard, he got a teaching gig.
He was a regular contributor to the New York Times, the San Francisco Chronicle, the Village Voice, and many other publications.
He found out that he was HIV positive in the mid-1980s.
In hospice, he sat with his sister and pored over pictures from the past.
He wanted to look backward. He wanted to distill some sort of meaning, overarching meaning from the events of his life.
His book slowly going out of print, and literature giving way to new forms of media, he wondered if he and his work would be remembered.
Richard asked me, what happens to these memories without someone to remember them?
I hope I've offered you more than literature. Courage, maybe, or freedom.
The nights become my days. My truths and my stories are